Welcome back, YouTube. We're back for week 15 of the NFL Veggie's Daily Fantasy Corner, brought to you again by Hero Spells Studios. If you guys would like to drop a comment, please do that. Before you drop a comment, like and subscribe to this video and this channel. Me and Hero Spell Studios read all the comments you guys have. If you want us to adjust the lighting, if you want us to adjust the camera angles, if you want us to adjust the microphone fixture, the computer fixture, whatever it may be, please drop a comment down below. We made sure to read all those comments, and we'll take those into account so we can keep making these videos and keep making good progress on the quality of the product that we put out for you guys. So thank you so much for those extra comments and extra love, especially around this Christmas season. Thank you so much. Week 15 of the NFL. This is a really tough week to pick for these players because a lot of them are in the COVID protocol. So I'm going to give you guys a heads up before I start this video, before I start these picks. My lineup is most likely going to change by Saturday before I fully submit the lineup for Sunday, because this week is the hardest hit the NFL has ever been for COVID this season, and it's taken a toll on probably about 70-ish players that are put on the COVID-19 list. So a lot of these picks are most likely going to change. However, as of Wednesday, December 15th, this is the best picks that I can give you guys for week 15 of the NFL. A little recap of week 14. I did end up getting the Chris Godwin and Tom Brady stack. However, I did not hit on the Foster Moreau tight end slot for week 14, nor the Josh Jacobs running back slot. He had a crucial fumble in the first drive of the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and that set him back in the depth chart. He was all the way down to running back number 2 for the Raiders, and he did not get the points we wanted him to get for week 14. However, I believe this week, especially with the COVID protocols, the players that are low priced are going to be up at the top this week, because I feel like a good amount of starters for a lot of these teams are not going to play because of the virus. So without further ado, let's get right into this week's picks. This week at quarterback, I'm going with Matthew Stafford, and a little foreshadowing, I'm going with the Matthew Stafford Cooper Kupp stack this week. Cooper Kupp has done it every game so far. He's been 14 for 14 on points. He's always put up 20 plus points, if not high teens, in maybe like 1 or 2 games. So Cooper Kupp really doesn't need any further explanation. He's valued at 9,000 DK bucks. So he's the most expensive wide receiver. However, he really has been Mr. Automatic for those Los Angeles Rams this season. Matthew Stafford, they're going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Tough divisional game. Seattle's been coming on a lot since the return of Russell Wilson. However, they're not quite in the playoff contention still. They might need to win. They're going to need to win out if they really want to have any shot at being in the playoffs. So they know what's in front of them, and Russell Wilson is the key piece to that game. So they know they're going to have to put up a lot of points against that Los Angeles Rams defense, who's tough. So I believe Matthew Stafford is going to counter that and also have to put up a lot of points, a lot of them being, 10-yard screen passes to Cooper Kupp and getting it done for his team. So I'm going with the Matthew Stafford Cooper Kupp stack this week for week 15. My 2 running backs, James Conner and Giovanni Williams. One reason I'm going with Giovanni Williams for the Denver Broncos is because Melvin Gordon, I believe, injured his finger. I think he either sprained or broke his finger, so he's not on the COVID list. He had an actual injury in the game, which set Giovanni Williams up to get a lot of those touches and a lot of those PPR points on screens for the Denver Broncos. They haven't given a real status on Melvin Gordon. They say he's day-to-day. However, I'm taking that gamble right now and saying that Giovanni Williams is going to be the bulldozer for the Denver Broncos this week against a Cincinnati team who just came off a brutal loss to the San Francisco 49ers in overtime. So they are going to have their work cut out for them. And I think Giovanni Williams is going to have a lot of totes this week as well. My second running back is James Conner for the Arizona Cardinals. He just got off a great game, 35 points. He got that 100-plus receiving yards, not rushing yards. Yes, 100-plus receiving yards. He got that on Monday night. And right now he's questionable. Let me see if he's on the COVID-19 list or not. I did not verify that before. Okay, he was listed as a non-participant because of an ankle in Wednesday's practice. So like I said, this lineup may change by Saturday. I'm going to monitor that James Conner situation. Also monitoring the return of Chase Edmonds, who could be this week. He was eligible actually to return last week in week 14, but he did not make that return because the Cardinals want to keep him healthy for that basically guaranteed playoff run that they're going to have. I don't know if the Cardinals, a little off topic, I don't know if the Cardinals want to win any more. I don't want to say win any more games. They obviously want to be in the playoffs, but on the road, the Cardinals are undefeated. They're 7-0. At home, they're 500. They're 3-3. And really, they should be 2-4 because the Vikings missed a 35-yard field goal, which would have given them their 4th home loss. So technically, they should be 2-4 at home, but they're 500. With that being said, this is a road game against Detroit, whose run defense has been proven to be very porous. So whether it's Chase Edmonds or James Conner this week, I may flip-flop them if they activate him and James Conner doesn't play. However, if it goes the other way, which is what I have in my lineup set right now, James Conner is going to be the lead back for Arizona in week 15 this week. My 3 wide receiver positions. Already established Cooper Kupp. He's been dominant. I'm going to keep him in my lineup because he's been Mr. Automatic. He's projected. Guess how many points he's projected? 27. 27. He's projected 27 points, an insanely high number for a wide receiver. So that's why we're going to play him. If he's projected that many points, we got to play him. He's a must start in all formats, PPR, DraftKings, normal fantasy. And by the way, the fantasy playoffs start this week. So even though this video is made for DraftKings and FanDuel content, don't be afraid to apply some of this knowledge to your fantasy team, whether it's ESPN, Sleeper, Yahoo, whatever. The playoffs start this week, and I believe some of these guys will really make an impact on your team this week if you want to start them. Cooper Kupp should be a no-brainer, though. He's been doing it all year, so he's wide receiver 1 in obviously all formats. Next up, wide receiver is Marquise Hollywood Brown going up against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is going to have to keep winning, which means they're going to have to put up a lot of points. How does Baltimore counter that? They have to put up a lot of points as well. It's either going to be Marquise Brown or Mark Andrews. I'm not going to go with Mark Andrews this week because he just got off another monster week, 37 points for Mark Andrews. So he's the highest salary capped tight end right now. I could not afford him in my lineup this week, unfortunately, because I'm going a little higher on a defense rather than staying lower on defense, which is what I've been doing over the last 3 weeks or so. So I'm going with Hollywood Brown this week, hopefully on a stretch point here because they're going to have to keep up with Green Bay. You know Green Bay is going to put up a lot of points. They don't get many field goals. It's a lot of touchdowns. Therefore, we're hoping on maybe hopefully one, obviously, but maybe 2 Hollywood Brown touchdowns this week and a lot of receiving yards if Lamar Jackson plays. Another thing we have to monitor, if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, I'm probably going to remove Hollywood Brown from this lineup and replace him with somebody around the same salary cap, around the same remaining salary as Hollywood. But if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, I don't know. I just can't trust Hundley to get it done. Maybe I could. That's a little revenge game. Green Bay. I don't know. I might keep Hollywood in there. We'll see. Because that could be a revenge game for Brett Hundley, too. My 3rd wide receiver is Laquan Treadwell. Yes, I am going with the former Viking Laquan Treadwell in my lineup. He's been putting up not great numbers, however, decent numbers in the last 3 weeks for his Jacksonville Jaguars. He's gotten a lot of targets as well. The last 3 games, he's gotten upwards of 17/19 targets. And he's gotten over 10 points in 2 of those games. They're going up against the Houston Texans, who are basically the 2 bottom-of-the-barrel teams in the NFL this year besides the Detroit Lions. So both these teams really have nothing to lose. I feel like this game's going to be a shootout, and Laquan Treadwell's going to have a lot to do with that shootout being up in points. So we're going to go with Laquan Treadwell this week at my wide receiver 3 slot, valued at $3,300 DK bucks. So he's pretty cheap for a guy who's been getting 8, 5, and 7 targets the last 3 weeks. Tight end slot is going to be TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson did not play last week. He was injured, and right now he's still questionable with his finger. He also has another broken finger as well. They're going up against Arizona. Detroit, again, is another team who has nothing to lose. And if they want to beat Arizona at home, this is a Detroit home game, they're going to need TJ Hawkinson back. I really feel like he's going to play, and he's definitely going to need to have an impact if his Detroit Lions are going to want to keep winning and beat the Arizona Cardinals, who are going to put up a lot of points, especially on the road. They've been doing it all year. Flex spot, Allen Lazard, Green Bay Packers. How are the Green Bay Packers going to put up a lot of points? Obviously, Devontae Adams, of course. Aaron Rodgers is obviously going to throw that thing around to Devontae Adams, probably 13, 15 times. But Devontae, I can't put Devontae and Cooper Kupp in the same lineup. They're way too expensive. I would have a bunch of duds on my lineup if I put Devontae Adams in there. So sadly, I cannot fit him. And I'm going out on a stretch here with Allen Lazard going up against the Baltimore Ravens. These are two very explosive offenses who I think is going to have a good test for him in the red zone, especially this week on the road, and really a must-win game for both teams. Green Bay wants that first-round bye just as much as Arizona does, and Green Bay also wants that first-round bye just as much as Tampa Bay does. Those three teams all have the same record, so they know they got to keep winning. How are they going to do that? I'm hoping this week with Allen Lazard and his Green Bay Packers. Lastly, my defense and special teams for this week, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers, valued at 3,100 DK bucks this week against the Atlanta Falcons. This is a home game for the San Francisco 49ers, who arguably are the most dangerous team in the NFL right now. Their record does not show it, but I would not want to play the San Francisco 49ers right now if I was any team in the league. They are dangerous. George Kittle is heating up. Deebo Samuel is getting healthy, and their defense just keeps getting better and better and better each week. Atlanta's offense, man, they're right in it, but they've been prone, especially on the road, to making a lot of mistakes, which is why I'm going up on a limb here and picking the San Francisco 49ers, going up and getting the San Francisco 49ers defense and special teams valued at 3,100 bucks. So they're a little more expensive. However, I'm hoping for a big payoff against an Atlanta team who's been very prone to turnovers and very prone to offensive woes this year in the 2021 season. That's my lineup for this week. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp stack. Hopefully that's going to be my big money maker. I think this week it's going to work out for me versus the Seattle Seahawks. James Conner, Giovanni Williams, my two running back positions. Marquise Hollywood Brown, Laquan Treadwell, the two other wide receiver slots. TJ Hawkinson, Allen Lazard, and the 49ers defense and special teams this week going up against the Atlanta Falcons in a home game for San Francisco. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, everybody. Me and Hero Spell Studio would really appreciate it if you did. Don't forget, we have a $100 Chipotle gift card giveaway. All you have to do is screenshot that you're subscribed, send that to either my Instagram handle or my Twitter handle, and I will make sure to get you entered into that giveaway that's going to happen on Christmas, which is next week. Get those in. Get in your verifications that you're subscribed so I can make sure to enter you into that contest giveaway for a $100 Chipotle gift card. You do not want to miss out on that. Thanks, everybody. That's it for me for week 15 of the NFL. Hopefully this is a big week, and I wish you guys an early happy holidays, and we'll see you next week for the Christmas special on week 16. Thanks, YouTube.